Hello everybody, it's Monica Heltz with your daily Fishers Health Department update. Today's October 1st. It's getting chilly out there. With the chilly weather, we think about things that we might need to do indoors over the coming winter to get through the rest of this pandemic. So today we're going to talk about eating out. We know with the governor's orders, we are allowed to have our restaurants open at 100% capacity. They still need to have 6 feet of spacing between each table. But you too may consider that it might be time for you to start eating indoors. If you're not comfortable with that, that's perfectly fine. You can still support our local restaurants by choosing carry out or delivery options. There may still be some warm days ahead and we can still eat outside. That would be the next safest option. Of course, if you're at very high risk, I would not recommend that you visit a restaurant indoors. But if you feel that your risk is lower, and you're ready to start visiting local restaurants and eating indoors, that's an option for you. But you may want to consider some safer ways to do that. So one thing that you can definitely do is to go at a less busy time. So when you're thinking about what time you want to go to a restaurant, choose a time when they're not likely to be as busy. Choose a time to visit that isn't 7 or 8 o'clock on a Friday night. Perhaps have an earlier experience at 4 o'clock, or, have an atypical experience, make it fun and make it unusual. That's going to probably decrease the amount of exposures that you're likely to have because the restaurant is less likely to be full. Of course, you want to make sure to wear your mask. You want to make sure you wear your mask on entry. If you're waiting for any kind of table, try to keep your distance from any others that might be waiting in any kind of scenario. Wait outside if you can. And once you're seated, you may want to keep your mask on until you have food and drink in front of you. And you may want to keep it on in between taking sips of something if, for example, you happen to be eating with members that are outside of your household. If you get up to go to the bathroom, you're going to need to remember to put your mask back on as you move about the facility. On entry to the facility, you may want to consider washing your hands so that you're not carrying anything in. Of course, wash your hands after using the restroom. And then you may also want to consider washing your hands again, a good 20 seconds, lots of soap in between your fingers, all that. You may want to consider doing that before you leave so that you're not taking anything out inadvertently on your hands. Feel free to bring your sanitizer or wipes if you feel like that would help you feel more comfortable in the space. Um, and that should help decrease and mitigate some of the risks that are inherent in being in an enclosed space. But we're all going to learn how to do this going forward and through the winter. So these are some tips to keep you a little bit safer. The other thing I wanted to mention is that under the governor's orders, self-serve beverage stations and buffets are technically allowed. Buffets are still not recommended. So those may be considerations. If the establishment that you're hoping to visit has a buffet, you may want to call ahead and ask if they're serving the buffet or if it's self-serve. Self-serve, again, is not recommended at this time, but it is allowed. Self-serve beverage stations, you'll see those open as well. They're going to be a little bit riskier, so you may consider having a different kind of beverage if you're wanting to be a little bit safer. So those are some safer ways you can consider eating out, and we'll continue to give you these types of tips for other activities, as well as look at some outdoor activities that we may be able to enjoy in the colder weather. Thanks so much. Bye.